All right, great evening, everybody. Great evening and welcome. Come on in the room. Welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. We're super excited to have you tonight. Come on in, take a seat. Go ahead and get your pen, your paper, your notepad, whatever you need to take copious notes tonight. We have a woman on the move, y'all. Someone who is definitely taking massive action in our world, making a great impact. So we want you all to take a moment to go ahead and grab your pen and your notepads. But we're excited to get started tonight. Again, welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. I am Mone't Horton, visionary and host. And of course, we're joined with our co host, Lady Tiara Parker. Say hey to the people.
Hey, 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 everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. We are again excited to be here tonight and grateful for another opportunity. Listen, welcome to December, y'all. How y'all doing? Go ahead and drop your comments out in the comment box tonight. Let us know that you're here. It is December. Lady T, are we in December already? We
Here we are. And I'm just like, how did we get here?
Hey, time is moving. And I don't know about you, but look, I want to make sure that I am taking and making great use of the time that has been allotted to me. And so yeah, y'all, if you have not taken time on your goals, your dreams, taking action, listen, you want to tune in tonight because we have a woman who is surely making power moves. So let's go ahead and take a moment. Before we bring our open up the mic for our guest tonight, I want to share a little bit of her bio with you all. Again, I've already shared that we have a woman who is on the move tonight. Dr. LeAnn C. Hendrick. She is a powerhouse of service, leadership, and a heart-led impact. She is the founder and the owner of Beyond the Call, Inc., also Beyond the Call LLC, and Sacred Praise Dance Ministry. She is a woman who wears many hats, multiple best-selling author, international columnist for Listen Linda magazine, prophetic liturgical dance ministry, domestic violence advocate, motivational speaker, mobile notary, financial broker, mentor, mother, grandmother, dot, as well as a devoted servant of the Lord. For over 30 years, Dr. Hendrick has fed, clothed, nurtured, and uplifted individuals and families in need. In just the last year, she has prepared over 4,000 meals, provided 300 backpacks for children, distributed 200 plus toys for the holidays, supported families facing food insecurity, supplied essentials to the elderly, offered toiletries and clothing to students, equipped 100 plus high schoolers with prom and graduation attire, uplifted returning citizens, served domestic violence survivors. She has done so much, everyone. Served and supported displaced families and mentored teen girls and so much more. She is truly living out the mandate to go beyond the call. In addition to that, she has numerous national recognitions, including but not limited to a doctorate in Christian leadership, Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, Resilient Woman of the Year Award, 2025 Listen Linda Woman of Excellence Award, as well as the Speak Up Sis Giver and Good Heart Award. Welcome, 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 Dr. LeAnn. Right.
Yeah, and every time I hear that, it's one thing to do it, it's another thing to live it. But then when you hear what you've done, because I don't even understand sometimes the magnitude
Yeah.
of my calling. So to hear
Mm.
your bio being read, it's a different feeling. But my response is always going to be, to God be the glory.
Mm.
In
Come on
everything, that it's always going to be that. And I made a promise to him that no matter what platform, who I was in front of, whoever I was around, whatever
Yeah.
individual I would serve, that I would not ever start off by saying, to God be the glory. Because if it was not for
Mm.
him, I would not be here. I would not be able to do the things that he has planted in me to do. Because this is
Yeah.
not a hobby, this is a calling, and it's a
Mm.
difference. So a lot of times people will sign up to do things because they think it sounds good, or I want to do
Mhm.
it because it makes me feel good, or I want to do it even for the worldly recognition. Not so, because I've been serving for a long time. The recognition didn't come until 2 years ago. So that tells you right there, not serving for the accolades, I'm not serving for prestige, I'm not serving for the likes. I'm only doing it for one reason and one reason only, is because God told me to. And uh, it's not easy. Just had this
Yeah.
conversation. I just had this conversation today when I was trying to rush to get ready so I could be here. It's not easy. You know, people say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you just,"
It's not easy.
it's not easy,
Yeah.
but it's heavy. It's heavy for people that
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
what that means. It's a heavy walk, and I wear four
Mm.
inch heels, but it's a heavy walk.
Ooh.
It's a
Ooh.
heavy
Ooh.
walk,
Ooh.
and I'm not
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
my stilettos are heavy either. It's a heavy walk.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've already we already in the conversation today. And I love it because when I first met you at the it's amazing because we met each other at the beginning of the year. You
Yeah.
know, women making an impact and all of that in New York. We were on the billboards, and but from the jump start, all of that aside, from the jump start, I said, this woman right here is doing her thing. And then when we really connected on social media, and I've been watching you and just in awe of the grace that God has given you for the assignment, the call that He's placed on your life. And so we share the bios, we share because when you're in the movement and you're doing and answering the call, a lot of times we don't get a moment to sit back and to rest and to know, like, wow, that is happening through me. I'm a
Mhm.
conduit, right? And but you are a courier of the grace, right, that God has given you for the assignments that He's placed in your hand. And so, and also when I was looking at your bio, I said, "Oh my goodness, she's in the flow like I am." Like it goes on and on and on. And so, we want to take a moment to say, "Welcome to Sister to Sister. Thank you for all that you are doing." Um, as you jumped into the conversation, you already dropped some nuggets, and you said there's a difference between a call, right, and just doing these things for accolades. um, as we're coming on in, what is that difference? What is that difference for those viewers out there tonight? And as we're talking about taking massive action, we want to break this down for them. It is a difference for just jumping in and saying you're doing something, but when you know your purpose and you're walking out a call, there's a difference. So in your own words, what does that look like and what is it?
Well, for me, a lot of things are going to be founded on the word, right?
Mhm.
So the difference in what I've been instructed is, my calling is, not only is it heavy, but that means that I have to be willing and ready to go when others won't. That means
Mm,
I have to be willing and ready to sacrifice. I can have plans set up, things that I want to do, but that means that I have to, people say turn down your plate, but that means that I have to forsake myself.
mhm.
And forsaking yourself can be hard sometimes, especially when you have people in your circle that might not understand your calling. But when you say yes to God, because a lot of, like I said, a lot of it is biblically. My calling is biblical. So
Yeah,
I gave
yeah.
God my yes, and I say,
Mhm.
when you give someone your yes, Your word is your bond. That's what we always taught, right? Your word is your
Mm-hmm.
bond. So if I'm gonna keep my word with my sister, I'm gonna keep it with God. That means
Yeah.
that I have to stand when I'm tired. I have to stand when others don't want to stand. I have to speak when others don't want to speak up. I have to
Mm-hmm.
fight battles that I didn't even start. Yeah, my purpose is way bigger than an
Yeah.
accolade.
And
Yeah.
from what you just said, the yes is perpetual. It's never ending. It
Never
doesn't
ending.
stop at the one time you say yes. And I think sometimes people that don't understand that the yes is ever continuing. It is ever going. It is an everyday thing. When you wake up in the morning, it's another yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But it's honorable.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not
That's good.
easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy, but it's honorable.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So what we don't what and what you both just said in terms of the yes, it is perpetual, it's ongoing, it's almost like, well, it is like daily bread, daily. I'm availing myself daily. I'm saying yes, and I'm committing to carry this torch or whatever it is, and it may look different for you every day. Um, a woman who wears so many hats, and here at Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves, we like to talk about the story behind the glory, what people say, the spotlights, the awards, and all of these accolades. Um, you already spoke to that. It's the mantle is heavy, right? Um, but how did you get to this place where you knew you had a call to answer?
So
If
my
that makes
call,
sense. Like you
yeah, it,
knew.
it it actually does make sense because I was birthed into this calling. I come from a lineage of women, especially my mom, which as far back as I can remember, 3, 4 years old, all I remember is her serving. Now,
Mm,
she was not a professed Christian back then, but as I grew to become my own in the Lord, now I know that she was doing God's work. Even if it wasn't spoken, she was doing it.
mm-hmm,
It was nothing to see her feed people in our homes that I didn't even know who these people were. It was nothing for me to see women getting bathed and clothed and getting their hair done. I come from service. So all I know is to give.
mm,
My mother was the giver in the family. She was the giver in the neighborhood. So it was a no-brainer. I was raised giving. So
mm,
even when I found myself in a desolate space, because I've suffered a lot of loss,
mm-hmm,
divorce, fire, flood. I've suffered a lot of loss,
mm-hmm,
death in my family. Even when I was in those particular situations, I was still not even thinking of myself. I was still thinking
mm,
and serving others because when it's in you, it's in you. And so
mm-hmm,
then there did come a time about 10, 12 years ago where God said he wanted me to go forth. Now, I
mm,
did not really understand what that meant because I was doing the work. I didn't really know what that meant.
mm-hmm,
And he reminded me again, I need you to go forth. And I'm like, what do you mean go forth? I need you to make this an actual business. And I
mm,
fought with that. I fought with that because I was okay with being in the back. I was okay with nobody knowing who I was, dropping that gallon of milk or that case of Pampers or sending the donation anonymously. Back in the day, you could send Western Union. Ain't nobody need to know who it came from, right? I
right.
was okay with dropping extra money in the bin or whatever. But so I fought with that because I never wanted to be in the limelight. I never wanted anybody to see me. I just wanted them
Yeah.
to know about God. And God had to let me know that I've
Mm-hmm,
got to pull you to the front. For
mm,
such a time as this, I've got to pull you to the front. You said yes. Now, if you really mean it, this is going to be the proof in the pudding because I've never wanted it. Never wanted.
mm,
Oh, it was her that did it. I never wanted that. So
yeah.
when that time came, I knew I had to do exactly what he told me because if I said yes on this side, I can't say no on this side because that would be me being disobedient. And when he told me that he wanted me to um, extend my nets,
Mm,
when he told me that I was an extension of his hand here on earth,
Oh,
It really did come from him ministering to me because I wanted to do it my way, but God said, no, I have to restructure this thing. I need you to do, I need you to follow, I need you to follow this new avenue. And literally, there was a transformation. And there was a
mm-hmm.
transformation. I was hesitant because I was like,
Yeah,
as soon as I go on social media and post this, I don't want nobody. And he said, you know what he said? Just continue to do what you're doing. You've already promised that you would always say to God be the glory.
yeah,
You're already doing it. The only difference is now that you'll be a legitimate organization. And this
yeah.
is how I'm going to be able to send others to you. This is how, like, the work of me giving was kind of isolated prior to me moving forward. Now people can actually come because my whole thing was I need to be able to help more people. I need to be able to help
Yeah.
more people. And
This was the way.
this has allowed me to help more people.
Yeah, yeah.
It was beyond what I was afraid of getting noticed, but it's allowing me to help more people.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
there's
So,
a
so when
two-part
you leaned
service.
into the shift, yeah. Mm-hmm,
When I leaned into the shift, a shift
uh-huh,
took place
yeah. Ooh,
for the better. And
yeah.
all it did was it enlarged my territory. And before I know it, there's
Mm.
not yeah. And so for some people they say, well, LeAnn, every time I turn around, yep, every time you turn around. And that's exactly how I love it.
Ooh.
I want to be able to be used by God. I want to be able to be a vessel. And we cannot do those two things if we're not willing to do exactly what he tells us to do.
So hold
You
on, wait a minute, wait a minute. You whoa, 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 whoa. So let's back up for a second. So when you lean into the donations, let me do this because I'm saying yes, but I'm doing it in my own way, the way that I know.
mm-hmm,
All along, making your request known to God that you have desire inwardly, and we know the word says that he puts the desires in us, right,
mm-hmm,
to do his good will. So, but all along you're saying, but I want to bless more people. But then he presents you with, this call to now you're doing it, but now you have to be visible, or
mm-hmm.
take you from the back, put you in the front. That shift, and now the next level is saying yes to it again, but now on this in this new place. But he answers your requests in a way that you probably wouldn't have looked for him to. But now you formalizing beyond the call, because I mean, make sure you're saying that you took it from just you doing it, now
Yes.
formalizing your nonprofit, but then not only your nonprofit, your business.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times do we send up prayers, right? We pray to God and we ask for things, but when he tells us to do it in a way that we didn't expect for him to tell us to move, we hesitate
Mm-hmm.
and we don't get to experience the shift because we are doubtful or slowful in responding, obeying quickly, all of those things.
Yes.
But today you get to, and others get to witness the fruit and the impact of your yes, and shifting and
Yes.
the beyond the call.
Beyond the call.
And
And
saying yes.
he even
So
gave me that name in
so
my
beyond,
spirit.
yeah. Mm.
He
Let
gave
me,
me that
y'all can
name
hear
in
me,
my
right?
spirit. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So talk about the be so ooh, listen, Lady T, jump on in when I know if you was about to jump in, but this beyond the call, um, tell us, you said he gave it to you in your sleep.
He gave it
Um,
to me in my sleep.
is it
I
another
dream.
story behind it?
Yes, I dream a lot. And when I said yes, I needed to know what he wanted me to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the call is because that's what I do. You have a lot of agencies or a lot of organizations out here that maybe only deal with single mothers. You have some that only deal with children and adults with disabilities. You have some that only deal with returning citizens. You have some that only deal with people that have been in hurricanes or fires or floods. Beyond the Call services everyone. And
Mm,
the reason I know that I was hand selected by God to go beyond the call is because I can associate with just about every aspect of that. I know what
yeah.
it's like. I know what it's like to be a single mother with 5 children. I know what it's like to raise a child that has disabilities. I know what it's like to have a child that passes away and you have to bury it. I know what it's like to have a fire. I know what it's like to have 3 boys with no dad. You know, I know what it's like. I know what it's like returning citizens. I can understand and relate to it all. And so I never wanted my calling or my assignment to be just focused on one person. I know what it's like. I'm an overcomer of domestic violence. I know what it's like. You know, I just know what it's like. I know what it's like to lose a mother at a young age. So because of that,
Mm,
I knew when he said beyond the call that that was me because I've gone beyond the call and I go beyond the call for everybody because everybody at some point they I have people that say, well, what is beyond the call? Beyond the call
mm,
is an organization that provides hope. That's what we do. We provide hope, whether it's
mm,
helping you stay in a hotel overnight, whether it's trying to help you rebuild your life, whether it's helping you reconnect with your children, whatever it is, we provide hope. And that can come in the form of a talk, a prayer, monetary, clothing, or facility. So I knew that beyond the call, when he said
mm.
beyond the call, I knew
Yeah, yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what that meant. I
Mm-hmm.
knew exactly what that meant. And I said, I know exactly what my organization is going to be called.
Because you're living it out every day. You have lived it out,
I've lived it out.
lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to the person who is dealing with things in their lives right now, who don't see they're not able to connect those pieces, and it might not be their season to connect the pieces. But as I'm listening to you, every experience, every encounter, every valley, every mountain, everything that you've experienced in your life have led you to this ability to serve in the capacity beyond the call, and everything you just mentioned. And I'm sure when you were in it, those pieces that like, oh, he gonna use me on the other side of this. Oh, he's gonna domestic violence. Oh, lost my mom, lost my, my husband, divorced, whatever, child. Um, that person who's navigating life, who's navigating loss. We know in our world, in our country, is so much that's going on right now, whether it's loss of a loved one, it's that grief, grief in losing a job, grief in whatever it is. But speaking to that person who may be navigating it right now on whatever level and place on that spectrum, what would you tell them who's navigating it, who's also trying to explore their purpose? How does this look like purpose to me? What would you say to that individual out there who may be listening or tuning into the replay?
Um, my first response to that question is you have to get a relationship with God. You
Mm,
really do have to find a way to connect with the higher power. And the reason I say that is because he's not going to lead you astray, for one. You have to be mindful of the people that you share your thoughts with because does not um everybody does not everybody is not a cheerleader. Everybody is not going to steer you in necessarily the right direction. A lot of people, when they are trying to teach and encourage, they are emotional. So they encourage you through their own emotions. You know, one of the phrases that I really don't like is "if I was you," because "if I was you" might not fit you, and it might not fit me. So don't
yeah.
say "if I was you," because if you were me, you probably wouldn't have even survived it. For starters. And there's a reason
Ooh.
why there's a reason why God puts you in places and has you experience things that everybody else doesn't experience.
Mm,
No two divorces are the same. No two house fires are the same. No two nothing is the same. No two experiences are the same. You can be in the house fire, you can be raised by the same parents. All the children will have a different experience. Yes, they
very
may have all
true.
received love, they may have all received the same meals, but everybody's experience of that, and it's the
Yeah.
same with life. It's like, you find yourself in a place. What really got me through was me realizing that I was even chosen for that.
Mm,
So once you realize that you were chosen to
mm-hmm.
experience those things, as hard as they may be, because I mean, I've gone through a lot of things. I've had a lot of questions for God. I'm not going to lie. But
Mm-hmm.
once I realized that I was hand selected to go through, it made it a little bit easier. It didn't take away the why me, but then
Yeah.
I turned that why me into why not me. So
Different,
now
different
that I'm here,
perspective.
you have
Mm-hmm.
to shift your perspective, and you have to figure out a way really to do that, not necessarily on your own, but you do have to figure out a way to encourage yourself, get in your quiet space. Journaling helped me a lot. Writing down my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and then going back and even reading my experiences, that helped me. Even if you open up your book and all you can write down is one word, how are you feeling today? Even if you just say, I feel like crap, that's a true statement. And then
Mm-hmm.
you go back and you read your journal again. Reading your journal will help you see how far you've come, and it will also motivate you to write more. um Reading, writing, the word has been a foundation in my life. Also, connect with someone that got it going on. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you want to be a Monet. It doesn't mean that you want to be a
Mm-hmm.
Tierra or a LeAnn, but find
Mm-hmm.
somebody that you know is out here doing positive things, that has
Yeah.
positive things happening in their lives. They're
Mm-hmm.
not chatterboxes. You don't necessarily need everybody in your ear, but
Mm-hmm.
find that one person. It might only be one person. Find that
Yeah.
one person that you feel like you can confide in. That doesn't mean you have to tell them everything, but you can confide in, that will give you pure advice, not from an unpure motive, but someone.
Underscore her. Yes.
Yeah, and
Advice.
sometimes you even have to pray for that, because the one person that you might think is your to go to person might be the very person that God will tell you to move away from. And it doesn't
Yeah.
mean it doesn't even mean that that person is bad for you. It just means that that person is not for this.
Yeah.
So you have to
Say that
categorize.
again.
Yeah, you have to categorize the people that are in your lives. Everybody does. I've had people in my life my entire life, and then but certain things I cannot go to them about. Then they're either not going to understand, or they're not in a position to absorb it, to even be on the level of thinking that God has me on. It doesn't mean that I'm
That's some
better than
good
them.
stuff.
It doesn't mean that I'm better than them or anything. It just means that this is what God, you have. That's why I said in the very beginning, getting a relationship with God will help you steer you in the right direction, because you need that. You need that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Foundational.
I don't know where I would be without my foundation. I
Yeah.
don't, can't even
Yeah.
imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Even
so
all the way
good.
in, even all the way in beyond the call, I still have to ask on a daily,
Yeah.
what do I need to do?
That's how you stay in
What do
alignment, though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
So that's
yes,
amazing.
yes,
Mm-hmm. So
yes.
with the call that's on your life, the work that has been placed in your hands, um, through all of the avenues,
Hmm.
streams that he's giving you, um, how does LeAnn stay in alignment? How does LeAnn, yes, we said the word, everything, but how do you ensure that what you're giving out is not um from your cup? I always say that when we're those who are giving, we're in the flow and we're doing the good work, that what's in our cup is for us.
Mm-hmm,
What's on our saucer, the overflow, is what we're to give out to others. And
mm-hmm.
sometimes when we are in it, we start giving out and pulling out what's in the cup.
My,
But how
my.
does LeAnn stay in alignment? And when you feel like you're going over, right? Bring yourself back. How do you do that?
So for starters, I've failed at that a whole lot of times.
Hello, I
And
am.
I'm gonna fail at it. So I'm gonna fail at it some more because
Yeah.
I'm not polished in that area. However,
Yeah.
what I realized what I realized that works,
Uh-huh.
tested, tried, tested and tried, is writing myself down on a schedule,
Ooh, say that again for the people in the back, because you sound
putting
like you was in my
myself on
class.
my own calendar.
Come on, y'all. Somebody.
And we ain't just talking about pedicure appointments. We talking about private quality time with just yourself. And if all that is you sitting in the kitchen looking out the window, drinking you a hot cup of tea and having
Yes.
your phone on mute and you got your favorite song in the background playing, then do it. And not
Yeah.
just doing it 3 times a year either. I'm talking about this 7 days in a week
Come on. Put yourself on that
on the calendar.
calendar.
Yes. For my faith believers, they say sow 10% of your tithes. Well, you need to give yourself at least 10.
On.
And 10 ain't a lot. There's 24 hours
Mm-mm.
in a day. 10% of
Mm-hmm.
a day is only what? 2 hours and 40
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Now
That's
that's
what
a power nugget.
that's equivalent to it. I mean, so if you give yourself 10%, just give yourself 10%. And I'm saying a week.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about a month. Give yourself 10%.
Mm-hmm.
It's a necessity. I had to reposition my thought process. I used to
Mm-hmm.
say, God, my kids, then me. I put my kids after me.
Mm-hmm.
Grandkids come after me. It's God, me, then everybody else. That's how it is.
Yeah. Because
Because
if you're
because
not
you
present, then how can you pour into somebody else?
exactly.
That's good.
Exactly. And I can
That's really
tell
good.
you that they call me the Energizer Bunny. A lot of times my friends will say, you must
Yes.
got a battery pack in your back. And I probably do. But what I also realize is that I matter too.
Oh, yes, you do.
I matter too. And and you not only have to make time for yourself, don't make no apologies for it. Because
Mm-mm-mm.
a lot of times life and people will have you thinking that if you try to pour into yourself that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Oh,
It's
well, I thought
selfish or
I thought you was a community advocate. I am. And I'm part of the community. So right now I'm advocating for myself and this is what I need.
mm,
And I should not have to be sick. I should not have to be sick to take a day off.
Mm,
I
that's
should not have
good.
to be, if I'm in pain, I shouldn't have to go see the doctor because I'm in pain. I should be able to chill in my bed and get some adequate rest. A lot of the things that we deal with is because we either don't feed ourselves through nourishment, hydration, or we don't sleep. And
mm,
I used to be that person that didn't think I required sleep. I got to be the best that I can be. I'm a single. I got to do all this. And then I
mm,
realized that gets old. It gets old.
mm-hmm.
It gets old. And then if you don't take care of yourself, God will lay you on your back.
Mm-hmm.
He will.
Mm.
He will. You have to pause for the cause. So that's my phrase sometimes. I'm like, listen, I'm pausing for the cause. Well, what's the cause? Me.
You.
Me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I realized in my moment of taking care of me and pouring into me, that's how I was able to birth books.
Come on.
I had books that God had me told me to write, but I could never find time. And it wasn't that I couldn't find time, I was not making time.
Oh, you took it right out. There you go.
Wasn't making
Talk
time.
about making room,
Making room.
making the time.
You have to make room. It's a
Mm-hmm.
necessity. Why wouldn't you? Even big corporate, even the Lord says on the Sabbath,
Mm-hmm.
rest. Even
To
God took rest.
rest.
Now that didn't mean that if he didn't get a call, that doesn't mean if somebody calls me and they're displaced or they're going through distress that I can't come down off of my moment. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that. But what that does mean though is that I'm not going to make stuff happen
Mm-hmm.
during my quality time. If a call comes through, then I have to do what I have to do, and I know that the Lord will provide and make provisions on
Yeah.
other days. But that
Mm-hmm.
also means that I'm going to consider myself first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he gives us wisdom, strategy, all of these things
Mm-hmm.
uh to and shows us when it's a time that we should go forth and go ahead and answer, right? Or how to
Mhm.
answer. Now let's talk about this. Um, it's you in your business, but have you come to a place where it's like, okay, LeAnn, you're doing a lot. You're overstretched. You need a team. Delegation. How have you dealt with that? Do you have a team, or you're in the place you're building? Because I know sometimes as leaders, we're women who are, making boss moves, all these other things they call it. But sometimes we're so used to being independent.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we get to the place where, wow, I'm really serving at another level now, I need to delegate and move beyond me while I'm going beyond the call.
Yes.
How has that shown up for you, and how have you responded?
So it has shown up. It's shown up from people who see me,
Mm-hmm.
who earnestly care about me.
Mm-hmm.
I've got several people right now, right out of the gate, that were all for beyond the call. They were all for, you got your people that rock with you, right? So
Yeah.
I did come right out of the gate with 5, Grace, um,
Mm-hmm.
that had signed on whatever you need. All were not women, some were men.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten to a point where I've now am in the process of praying, asking God to send me who He wants me to have, not me to select who I want, right? And I'm
Good.
now realizing that the people that He may want me to have might not even be people that I've ever met. These may
Mm.
be these may be strangers that are connected to me, because what I don't want is for someone to be a part of something just because they feel obligated to me. I want somebody that's going to have the same passion, the same desire to just
Mm.
go out here and serve without wondering what you're going to get. And
Mm.
if all you can donate is 5 hours of your time a month, I'm grateful for that. Um, whether it's stuffing toiletry bags or whatever. So how that looks for me is I was doing it
Mm-hmm.
all by myself. And I still have people that are, what can I do to help?
Mm-hmm.
But you know which ones really are saying it and which ones really are just saying it.
Yeah.
So again, that goes back to being on one accord with my
Mm-hmm.
spiritual father and being able to be in tune with what he says
Mm-hmm.
needs to happen. Because I've
Your
already
discernment.
tried,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I've tried stuff, and I've had people say, well, next time just give me a call. And when the next time comes, you call and can't find them with a government search warrant.
My goodness.
You know? So,
Hello.
like, okay. I mean, I just posted the other day. I said that's why I do stuff myself. But I mean,
Right.
finding a
But then
team is, then you know. So that's
Mm.
why I'm praying that I know that God is going to send me um a select group of people, because he already told me that Beyond the Call was going to be a household name. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
bigger than the Red Cross, and
Mm-hmm.
and I believe him, because he is a
Yeah.
God that will lie. So
Yeah.
because it's going to be a household name, I already know that there's going to be other locations. It's,
Mm-hmm.
this is the breeding ground, but I know it's going to stretch far and wide.
Yeah.
So it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Mm-hmm.
not easy sometimes, because that means that, yes, sometimes you do have to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to pay to get people to help you when you don't
Mm-hmm.
expect them to want to put a price tag on it.
Yeah.
But at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, it's my call and not theirs. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's my
Yeah.
calling and not theirs, I have to understand that sometimes you may have to make sacrifices out of your own resources, which God
Mm-hmm.
has blessed me to be able to do. I do not currently have any grants coming in. A lot of the
Okay.
things that God has me doing has been out of my own pocket. He's made a
Mm-hmm.
way where I have not had to want for anything. Um, I still to this day don't understand how that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes a way. And that's another reason that I know that it's God driven, not LeAnn driven, because
Leandra.
anything that God sets you to do,
He gives
he's gonna
resources.
make for it. So when
Mm-hmm.
you might think that you don't make enough money to do X, Y, and Z, and then you're like, wait, I thought I didn't have enough money, but somehow I did. And then a stranger from Alabama one day saw me on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, somebody else's page. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
normally do this, but I'm gonna say this because this is a testimony.
Yeah.
just happened to see me on somebody else's page serving, and then out of the blue, I get a seed for $500, and I'm like, who is this woman? Like, who is she? Or you're on the side of the road and you're feeding people or distributing coats, and it's like 2 inches of ice outside, and this lady from New York City who was traveling through, she gets out of her car in the middle of the intersection, and she's running over to my truck, and I'm thinking she wants what I'm distributing, all to just say, hey, I saw you 2 minutes ago down the street passing out coats. I just told my husband I need a U-turn and go find her. Found me and was like, what is your Cash App? Do you have Cash App? I just feel like I need to make a donation. So God will make a way. God will make a way. And it's been times that I have given my last because I know he's going to replenish. And before I can even get home to see what my last was that I gave away, he's already replenished.
He's a replenishing God. My goodness.
So he has graced me to be able to do what I do, but I know that he knows that I need help, and I know he's going to send help, but I don't want the help prematurely. I need to make sure that whatever God has for me is going to be for me. I need to make sure that people's integrity is exactly where it needs to be, because the people that I service right now, that I serve right now, they're vulnerable people. No matter what stage of life they're in, they're vulnerable people. So I need to make sure that the people that are connected to Beyond the Call, who are showing up as Beyond the Call, understand that this is a delicate assignment.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't just that. This is a delicate assignment.
Yeah.
It's a serious assignment. It's not one that nobody should take lightly. So I've been hesitant,
Sacred assignment.
I feel like your entire story is the testament of God rewards obedience. And a lot of times we are so afraid to be obedient. We are so afraid because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't look like how we thought it would look. It doesn't feel like how we thought it would feel. Well, Lord, when I prayed for this isn't exactly what I had in mind. Or, this isn't the business idea that I thought I was going to be executing. But your entire story is a testament to the Lord rewarding obedience in the big and the small ways. From you being connected with people to help you with your business right out the gate, to strangers giving you donations or sowing seeds because they see you and believe in what you're doing. They don't necessarily know you. They don't know how often you do this. They don't know. They've only seen. But it was placed on their heart to sow a seed. And it just goes to show that a lot of times, if we can just be blindly obedient and not worry about what's around the corner or what's next after this, that it's already set up. It's already set up.
Absolutely.
My goodness. Woo! Absolutely. Now that's a whole word.
Your blessing is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Literally.
Just blind obedience. Blind obedience.
Just do what he tells you.
Yeah. And he won't only meet the need, but he'll exceed. He'll exceed the need. LeAnn, on that note, what is obedience in this season? How important is obedience in your life? How important is it to be obedient?
It's it's obedient. It's important to be obedient. For one, I'm too afraid not to be.
Ooh, that part.
I'm too afraid to not do what God told me to do, because I was in bondage for too many years for being disobedient. Through the divorce, through the domestic violence, just those two events alone, disobedience caught me in the midst of that. Had I been obedient, I wouldn't have found myself in either of those situations. So just to have that as a reflection, me knowing I shouldn't have been a part of it, and then me crying to God to get me out of it.
My God.
I fall short
Mm,
just like everybody else. I don't dot every I or cross every
mm,
T. However, I strive to be obedient
mm-hmm.
so much that it's cost me friendships. It's cost me separation from certain family members. It's cost me it to be obedient to God. It's rewarding, but it
Mm-hmm.
it costs. It
It
costs to
costs.
be obedient, and you have to be willing to let all those things go and understand that obedience to God is far more important than anything. Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to be caught when my last day on earth. I don't want to be caught being disobedient. I said
My goodness.
I want to be caught in one of three ways. That's either praying, serving, or praising God.
Mm.
I don't want to be caught not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't want to have to every time every day because I choose not to do what God tell me to do. Here I come again. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lord. Sorry, Lord, for not. It's just like when you think about you as a child, or if you're a mother, every time you told your child not to do something, here they come again,
Yeah.
disobedient, coming back with the same old sad story. I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to be a walking example of what I preach as well. I'm telling people out here, you need to be obedient to God. You need to listen to God's voice. You need to put yourself in a position where you block out everything, don't hear nothing but the Lord's voice. But here I'm out here living like a ship without a sail because
Mm.
I'm just out here winging it. I don't want to be like that.
We don't want to
And
wing it.
there's no reward in that either.
Yeah.
It might feel good for the moment,
Temporary.
but that backlash is the backlash. I'm afraid. So
Mm,
obedience to
mm,
me means at all costs.
mm, mm, mm.
You have to be willing to sacrifice it at all costs,
At all costs.
which is what God did for us.
Yeah.
He did it for
Mm,
us. The least I could do is try to be obedient. I say try
mhm.
because it's a daily
Yeah. It's a
walk.
daily walk.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. You have you shared so much in this time, LeAnn, Dr. LeAnn. And I am just so appreciative of your walk, your yes, your perseverance to go, your sacrifices to go beyond the call of duty. Not just, one time, but every day to show up and to keep showing up. People don't know what it takes behind the scenes to show up. They see your smile, they see your bright light, they see your outfit, they see all the outer. But my God, before you get to the outer, you got to know that it's an inner work that's going
It's the
on.
end. Yes.
It's what I call the inner winner
Mm-hmm.
that you have to commit to show up inside before it can show up on the outside.
Absolutely.
And I thank you for doing that work, that perpetual work, because when he takes us and brings us to one level, it's always another level, and it's a lot that comes with it. But they say for every level is another devil.
Yes.
It's other challenges, it's other things that come. But whatever he places in our hands, we know that he equips us for
Mm-hmm.
and that he provides for. So we want to thank you for coming and sharing your story, a part and pieces of what's behind that backdrop, but bringing it to light. Um, Before we close out today, and Lady T, of course, if you have any, you want to jump in, if you have any closing remarks. Lady T.
Um, for me, the biggest thing I want to leave the viewers with to think about is what are you willing to sacrifice to be obedient to God?
Mm,
Because LeAnn has talked about being willing to sacrifice everything because being obedient does it's not always going to feel good and it's not always going to look good. And if people don't understand your calling, the vision that the Lord gave you, your purpose, there it's not going to make sense to them. So what are you willing to
mm,
sacrifice for the sake of fulfilling purpose, for the sake of making sure that you stay in alignment? Because sometimes those relationships and those people that we hold so dear have stopped being relationships and they become idols. So, what are you willing to sacrifice and let go of in order to just be obedient?
Mhm.
mm. Yeah. Obedience is definitely important and paramount to do this work and answer the call beyond beyond the call. Dr. LeAnn, as we're closing out today, we want to give you space to share how we can connect. If there's some viewers out there, or even those who will watch the replay, how do they connect if they want to sow a seed? Where can they find you? And of course, if you have any final thoughts that you want to leave with our viewers today, please go ahead and take a moment to share.
Okay, so I am on Facebook. My Facebook name is actually LeAnn Peaches Williams Hendrick. I do have a website, which is www.beyondthecalling, that's ing.com.
Yes.
And on my website, there's also sublinks where you can actually sow a seed. If you like to sow a seed, you can also keep up with the different things that we do throughout the year. There's also a way to keep in contact with me through email. So if you do venture onto my website, if you can sign up to get updates so that I can be in touch with you, that would be great. And my telephone number, which is all over the web, is 240-876-9240. I do answer my phone. You can send me a text if you're in need. Although we are Maryland based, uh, my services go beyond the Maryland Beltway. So don't think that if you're living in Texas or Missouri that we can't be of service to you, because that's not how we operate over here. And
Mm,
also, people always say, well, what can I do? Well, I always tell them that every minute of the day, someone needs a helping hand. Might not
mm,
be somebody you know, but it could be somebody that knows the person that you know. They may only need a kind word. They might not necessarily need money, but they all will always need a little bit of hope. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be rich. All you have to do is have a little bit of care in your heart and act on it.
mm. Yes, yes, yes.
That's so
And
good.
let me tell you, y'all, you have just had an opportunity to hear it from a woman firsthand, a woman who is on the move. She is making power moves. We appreciate you, Dr. LeAnn, for coming in, dropping
Yes,
in, taking a moment to share what you are doing.
yes,
Beyond the Call Inc., Beyond the Call LLC, and every other hat that you have that you're wearing. Look, I have been able to see in this short time within this year that you are on the move, and grateful for all the things and the great impact that you're making in our world. We know that it's not just local, but it is global. And my goodness, I'm excited and sitting on the edge of my seat in great anticipation and expectation for what God has for you now and next.
Thank you
Again,
so
thank you
much.
all for sharing with us. We want to stay connected with you here at Sister Talk
Yes.
Power Moves. We hope that you've enjoyed your time with us today and our dialogue. It's always awesome to connect in genuine, organic sisterhood, and definitely keep us posted for what you're doing, and the moves that you're
yes.
making, because we want to support you. Great sacrifices and that you're making, and a great work that you're doing. So everybody, you got it. There you have it. We've had another sister to sister talk power moves. Now, what are you going to do about all of this information that you've gotten tonight? These amazing nuggets. It's December, and there is still time for you to take massive action in your life.
Yes.
We just don't take in the information. We take it in, allow it to form the action, which is what the action. So now what are you going to do? You have to make that power move. And now is the time. No more delay. It's time to obey. Have a wonderful night. Don't just meet us here, but beat us here next week at 7 p.m. Take care, take charge, and God bless you. Take care, ladies.